So, hello again for the recording.
Hello. Good to chat.
Describe the setting you're in at the moment, what you see if you look out the window.
So I'm down below in the Tradewind 35, my beautiful boat that I was going to compete in the Golden Globe race in a couple of years. So I've just sold this boat to Golden Globe race entry number 18, who has been a confidential entry, and he'll make his announcement soon now that he's got his boat. And so I'm boatless, and I'm in Sydney right now. The boat's here at the Royal Prince Alfred Yacht Club on a marina.
I studied your website, and I saw that you kind of consider yourself as an adventurer. And what can one do to become an adventurer? Is there an apprenticeship, or how did it work out for you?
The first thing to become an adventurer is never grow up, right? Have a very strong imagination. Okay, and dream a lot, and if you put those three things together, it really comes down to having fun in life and doing the things you really want to do. But from my perspective, it's all just about having fun. So some of the expeditions that I've done, either on the water or on the land or in the sky, they're really quite major, major elements of boy's own adventure, just doing something. If that sounds like a great idea, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And a lot of them don't happen, but some of them do. And it's all about having fun, being yourself.
And then you had the idea of the Golden Globe race. So is it really your idea, or did you form it with different people? And what's the whole thing?
Wow. Have you got an hour, and I'll give you the full story? But basically, here it is in a nutshell. I followed Robin when he went round in the 1968 Golden Globe. I was aware of Chichester, and so as a kid, when I was really quite young, it was pretty impressive. And as I got older and took on sailing, the very first boat that I decided to build when I was 18 was a sister ship to Suhaili. It was a Samson Sea Mist design, a concrete 32-foot double-ender that I turned into a ketch and so on. I sold it before I finished it and downgraded to a smaller boat because my girlfriend walked out. But nonetheless, Robin was a great influence on all of my sailing exploits, and as things go on, I finally got to meet Robin in the first BOC Challenge in 1982. I was the Aries wind vane agent. I was selling Aries in Australia, in Sydney, and I was working on the vanes in that race, and up comes Robin, and it was amazing because he was my boyhood hero, and there he was in front of me. And you know what? All he wanted to talk about was cricket, and I didn't follow cricket. I wanted to talk about the Southern Ocean and Cape Horn, and right at that instance I thought, wow, that's me. I'm going to have a crack at Cape Horn. And ultimately that led me to 8 years later competing in the BOC Challenge, and Robin and I, in our own way, became friends, and he helped me in a few different things. So the first idea popped up when I was actually living in a box in Antarctica for a year of isolation with my then wife Margie, and your mind looks on to next adventures, and I decided I'd really like to do something for the anniversary of Robin's voyage around the world. So while I'm sitting there in the middle of winter, I'm working out how to build a replica of his boat, Suhaili, and recreate the circumnavigation. It didn't happen. Life got in the way. So then again, when it was, in fact, I forget the exact timing, but I had another crack at it. I found a replica of Suhaili. I was going to buy it and set off around the world again. But again, I got tied up with my bounty boat expedition, so it didn't happen. And 2 years ago, when I was in Tonga treasure hunting, we had some downtime for 3 months when some of our equipment was broken and had to be repaired. And I just started thinking about different things, and knowing that the 50th anniversary of the Golden Globe race was coming up. And I just really wanted to sail around the world and redo Robin's voyage. And I thought the best way to do it was start a race, and I'll sail in it, but a special type of race. And so that's where it came from. It actually started when we were sitting on my boat in Tonga, twiddling our thumbs, and we had Annetta, our digital director. She was on board, and another friend, Brownie, and Jane was here, and we snowballed all these ideas. But I had the general concept, and that's where it came from. So it grew from my initial inspiration from Robin in 1968. That's how far back it goes.
What's the race for you?
There's a few very important elements to the race, and that's part of the reason I think it's so successful. Having raced in the BOC Challenge, I spent $750,000 to build my boat and race it around the world, okay, in 1990. After that, even that event became Grand Prix with major athletes sailing and technology going, forward, and all very exciting, but it knocks out the average person. Couldn't do it. I have a very simple formula for every adventure I ever do, and it's like this. It's all about planning, preparation and execution, and it's put me in good stead on everything I've ever done. So I've moved that into the whole issue of the Golden Globe race as well. And so we're particular on safety equipment. Sure, it's not like the original race. We've got 42 pages of safety rules and regulations and all that sort of stuff. But you have to do that. If you're going to have websites and you're going to be involved with media and you want to give it a fair chance with anyone who wants to enter this race, so that anyone can win. Doesn't matter whether you've got millions of dollars of sponsorship or whether you're selling scrap metal to earn your money to build your boat. You've both got a chance of winning this race. They're the key elements. So, and at the end of the day, it's all about the sailors. It's not about big business. It's not about sponsors. It's not about media. If there's one thing I'm going to protect on this race, it's the event for the sailor sailing their little boat around the world. The rest of it will follow.
And then your best sailing experience so far. I think it's a hard question for you as you sail a lot, but is there the one sailing experience you think back again and again and again?
Oh yeah, definitely. The bounty boat experience was fantastic. Absolutely the best expedition I've ever done. It was a little 25-foot open whale boat, and we sailed at 4,000 miles across the Pacific without toilet paper, with only 2 weeks of water and hardly any food and no charts and no nothing. And this little timber boat just had ropes, bits of wood, sails, and that's about it. And we just had the best time. It was so simple and so pure, back to basics. It was the most fun. It had some risk, but had challenge, but it had a bit of everything. But sailing, it was just the best. That was definitely my best expedition. Okay. I've done a lot of different sailing, but I'm not a guru sailor. My sailing is give me a knife and a compass, and I will always get home. That's part of the deal. And the other thing I do, even with the bounty boat expedition, it was very traditional and very back to basics, but I had the very best safety equipment you could have, and that fits in with the planning, preparation and execution. Because if I ever have to be rescued, I have a very simple, and I've never had, by the way, I've never had to be rescued, I have a very simple standard that I need to satisfy myself, and I need to be able to look my rescuer in the eye and say, hey, I did everything I could to prevent the rescue. And secondly, having decided I needed to be rescued, I've done everything I possibly can to make your life easier to get to me. They're important elements.
The next question, what is sailing for you?
I could say to anyone now that if all my sailing, probably 70% of it has not been fun. It's been wet and cold and you have to work hard and you're getting there, the remaining 30%, probably 20% of that has been really nice. And the last 10% has been off the planet. It's been really good. But sailing, besides the adventure and the challenge, it's a way of feeling alive, and you can go to places and you can meet people and live a lifestyle like nothing else anywhere in society. And it's got a lot of elements. It's not just racing. It's a lifestyle. Out there cruising, living on your boat. You can go to places you can't get anywhere else any other way, and you take your home with you. So sailing is many different things to many people, but it's not all glamour and blue seas and calm skies and all that sort of stuff.
Okay, so you told already about your inspiration to take part in the race, but can you also answer me why you don't take part in the race now?
Well, it's a hard one to answer, and basically I was very passionate about sailing. That's what it was all about. I was creating an event for myself, really, and to be quite honest, I thought, wow, I'd be really happy if we get 10 entrants in the race. The dimension changed. I wouldn't be comfortable in my own little boat going around the bottom of South Africa, heading through the Southern Ocean and wondering how the race management's going, or if there's a situation evolving, whether it's being managed the right way and things like that. And I thought, boy, by the time I get to Cape Horn again, I'm just going to be beside myself. I just won't be able to concentrate. And it's just very obvious. It evolved over about 6 months, and basically my heart now is in the race. what happens to my dream of following in the footsteps of Robin and Sue Haley, I don't know yet. But one thing's for sure, I am in now. I've come to terms with it. I'm incredibly excited about the race. I feel really a strong sense of responsibility to all the entrants. And now I see a huge opportunity through the entrance of the race to inspire millions of people to get out there and have a go.
Do you have anything to mention for the Golden Globe entries?
Well, there are two things. Okay, for the entrance. So I just did another 4 transits of the Southern Ocean from New Zealand right down to 77 degrees south. And it's cold, it's wet, it's challenging, you know, it's tough. So, and the entrants know this, you know, they're not silly. But boy, you got to prepare your boat and yourself really well, you know, like it's going to be a tough challenge. It goes on and on and on. That's the deal, you know, it's a long way to get around. So, and then for the rest of the world that's watching it, stand by. And as I said, the world has never seen anything like this ever, not even in 1968. In 1968, there was all different types of boats going around, you know, and trying to do it. They were breaking new ground, but this is just as challenging. There's big questions on how these boats are going to behave just under wind vanes, you know. Most of the smaller boats that have gone around in record-breaking situations, they're using electric autopilots at certain time. And so there's some big questions yet to be answered on what's going to happen. So it's going to be worth watching, and I think the world will be watching.
I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me, and yeah, hope to see you soon. And now
I feel very honoured to be part of 10 little questions, and I'm not even racing, so there you go. Well, but good luck, everybody.
We all wouldn't race without you, though. So.
Oh well, I wouldn't be able to have an event without you. So there you go, big circle, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
No worries.
Great to Jane, and have a good time. I wish you
Thanks.
all the best.